Let's do this.
All right. Yeah, we shoot best from the hip anyways.
Yeah. I just try to keep up and catch up. You ready to kick it off?
Ready.
Welcome to the Roof Coating Contractor Podcast, where ambitious entrepreneurs discover how to launch and grow a profitable commercial roof coating business. Whether starting up or ready to scale, you'll hear proven strategies and insider secrets to succeed in the booming commercial roofing market.
All right. Welcome to the Smarter Roofer Podcast. My name is Owen.
My name is Elias, and we got a guest with us today.
My name's Mervin.
We're trying to get him to become a more regular.
Yeah, right? I think that would be
Mervin
awesome.
is a great voice.
That would be awesome.
We sat down here and he's like, I don't have much to say, or I don't have a lot of wisdom, but I think that's a good place to be, because I don't feel like I got that much either. So.
We'll see where it goes today. Pretty interesting topic. So a lot of times at the end of the year, we talk about, especially for commercial roofing contractors, what is something you can do? What is your goal for this next year? And I got to thinking earlier this morning, I was like, so often we talk about all these targets and the goal and the things we should be doing, which we should, but what are some things we should stop doing? Because a lot of times in business, for example, I build websites, and so I had a contractor call me earlier this year, and we talked about pricing and everything, and I gave him our pricing. So, well, right now he's spending $997 a month for his website, and if he doesn't pay the bill, his website goes away. And I'm like, that's crazy, because we can host a website for whatever, $40 a month or something, and he could put all that other money, that other $10,000, $11,000 a year, into other marketing, into other things. He could take a trip, he could take the family to the ocean or something like that. So my question is, what are some things we should stop doing for 2026? There's the setup. It's all yours.
You go, Elias. I want to hear it.
I feel like, this year, I think we did a lot of things right in our own roofing company. I think we did a lot of things right because we really grew the company. The things that we did really well this year, I think, is build relationships. We did a lot of work for a couple companies that I feel like we did a pretty good job building relationships with people that referred us. But there's some things that I think that, marketing, you talked about marketing. I mean, we dumped a bunch of money into a form of marketing that probably we need to change that up next year. And so there's things that we're going to analyze coming into the end of this year. What are things that worked well for us this year? And what are things that, we kind of tried? And I'll be honest, one of those things that I feel like we tried really hard is Facebook marketing. Like, I feel like we tried that really hard, and we actually spent a lot of money on that. And we looked at a lot of jobs, but it just seems like the quality of the leads that are coming in from that, it's, for whatever reason, it's a lower quality of leads, and we're having a tough time turning those into projects. But the jobs that we're, the guys that we cold called, we sold some really nice work off of cold calling this year, because it was building that relationships and doing it like literally building it from the ground up. It's really easy to be lazy in a company and just be like, hey, I'm going to throw more money into marketing, when sometimes the best thing is to do is to get out there and meet people, because really everything is a people business. In our own roofing company, we're going to take a really good inventory this year, coming to the end of the year, because I'm helping Tony, my brother-in-law, build a company local here. It's the second full year. And we did really close to $1.5 million worth of jobs this year, which I think is really good. And it was all coatings. Like, we didn't do any membranes. It was all coatings. We still have probably 20,000 square feet to try to top coat, but I don't know. I'm looking at 6 inches of snow outside right now. So
yeah,
I don't know if that's going to happen. But I think we did a lot of things right. But I think there was a few things that we did that I'm like, I'm not saying that putting money into Facebook marketing is bad, but when you're a new company, like, you have to be really smart. It's not like we're a $10 million company and we can dump $200,000 into something and try it. Spending $20,000, $30,000, $40,000 is a really big deal.
You had mentioned social media, and we'll probably talk more about this too, just on the personal side in life, but social media leads are a different type of lead, because most times they are on social media for entertainment. And so they see the ad, they might be the person in charge, but they're coming from a total different place from someone that's on Google looking for a contractor right now. Talking about social media, going back to that in personal life. So my question too would be, what are some things that we as business owners, leaders should cut out? Maybe it's in personal life. Maybe it's not coffee, but maybe it's Red Bull, or what are some things that, we can cut out for 2026 that's going to get us ahead? That's kind of where I'm coming from. Anything, Mervin? Are you good?
Oh, I mean, I'm deep in thought over here.
Do you have anything? So a lot of times you can look at other people's lives a lot easier, and you see, what results they have in life. You're like, man, if they would just drop this one thing, it would be so different for them. And so sometimes that's a perspective I take too. But then, of course, we try to take it personal.
So I have a suggestion, yeah. If you want to quit something...
Is it about my coffee?
No. If you want to quit something that'll improve your business, maybe quit hunting, possibly.
Do not look around the studio here today.
Yeah, it's a cold day, so we just made a fire in the shop. This is the shop, Owen.
I'm just kidding, though.
Yeah, no.
Real nice studio, Elias, in your shop.
I guess for me, it's a little hard to say, like, how do you know what to quit? If, like, you kind of have to look at your, like, what's working and what's not working, is the way I look at it. To just come up with an idea of, I'm going to quit this or that, like, yeah, it's good. But, like, to me, I'd almost have to look at, well, what worked for me?
Mm-hmm.
Like, last year I did a lot of subcontracting, and that really worked for me. This year, I am going to try to cut back on that a little bit and do more of my own stuff because it pays good, but it's still not like selling your own jobs. One thing I'm going to have to cut back on is some of the smaller stuff in subcontracting. I'm just going to have to say no because a lot of times I can't, like, I have a hard time saying no. So if someone says, hey, I've got a, 1,500 square foot job down here or wherever, it's hard to say no to those, but then they occupy so much of your time. So that's one thing for me is, like, if I just look back at where did I do good and where didn't I, it's stuff like that. It's the little stuff is where I get hung up on a lot.
I think for me, one thing I've done before for, 3-4 months was...
I want to take a moment and invite you. It's in Niles, Ohio. It's going to be December the 10th. It really is about leadership. It's about growing as a person. It's about becoming a better business person, a better leader, and it spills into family. Actually, family is a more important part than business because you can get it right in the business, but if you don't get it right in the family, they ain't going to work in the business anyway. I want to invite you to that event. It's going to be a day full of learning, and it's going to be a day full of fun. We used to do this event and always kept it to just the people in our team. And now we're going to start doing them again, but we're going to open it up to anybody that wants to attend. So if you have a business, it'd be a great event for you to attend because you're going to learn how to work with people better. But honestly, if you're married, you should be at this event because it'll help you understand your spouse better. And it's going to be a great day. Would love to see you guys December the 10th.
Get all the details and get your tickets at smarterroofer.com/bold. That's smarterroofer.com/BOLD. Delete social media off of my phone. I like, Mervin, how you said that we have to know why, I think. If you have goals and targets and ideals that you'd like to achieve, then you can backtrack and cut out things that are not helping. They're totally not helping you get there. So that's one thing for this year. I'd like to get rid of social media on my phone, where if I want to post something, just go on the computer. You can schedule it pretty easy now. So that's something in personal life that helps me get time back, time with the family, things like that.
I think that's a great thing to do. I didn't delete social media off my phone, but I on purpose put my Facebook page on the very last page. Like I have to scroll over like four tabs or whatever you call that, four screens
I do the
to
same
get
thing,
to it because I found that when it was on my home screen, I would click on it and be scrolling and I'd do it like subconsciously. And then all of a sudden you see, you're in a conversation or you're reading through a conversation maybe, and it might even be a good conversation, but a lot of times if a conversation thread gets pretty long, like it's usually controversy in there and it's like drama. Yeah. And I found for me, like when I go in there, it doesn't help my mental state. And so I do spend less time on social media than I did at one time for sure. And I still get on it. I still keep tabs of things on there, but I do think I intentionally spend less time. But I've made it more difficult, maybe a little bit, to get on it because, all those things are good things, but when they're overdone, they're not good things. Hunting is one of those things too. I remember some years ago coming home from Montana, like we had a home in Montana and we had spent almost 2 months out there. And on our way back, I told Deb, I said, man, I know I should be on a high because I'd filled every tag. I had done what I've dreamt of doing since I was a little kid. I'd always read the outdoor life magazines, and as young adults or whatever youth, we'd get these magazines and we'd read all these stories. And I always dreamed of elk hunting or bear hunting or whatever in Montana or Idaho or wherever. And I remember one year, I hunted 3 Western states. I hunted Colorado, went to Idaho, hunted Idaho, and then went to Montana. I killed a lot of animals. I bow hunted all 3 states, filled a ton of tags. And on the way home, we had a couple coolers completely full of meat. I told Deb on the way home, I'm like, I know this sounds weird, but I'm not really happy. It was the first time in my life that I really took the time or realized that when men are not achieving the things that they're put on this earth to do, when you don't have goals and dreams, we'd kind of, hit a lot of benchmarks that we'd set out to hit. Maybe I kind of felt like we'd arrived. And men aren't made to get there, And I remember thinking I need to go back and do what we once did. I love people and I love leadership and I love, helping people build companies. And I actually really enjoy selling roofs. And this year I sold a lot of the roofs that we did this year. I enjoy that. I'm a happier version of myself when I'm doing what I was put on this earth to do. And I enjoy to hunt. You can look around here and I enjoy to hunt and fish. I really do. But I do feel keeping some of that in perspective. Somebody told me recently, and I forget who it was. I think it might have been Ernest Swartz, said that when you don't have goals and dreams, you tend to lose yourself in your hobbies or your passions. But there's something that it's not fulfilling. That should be a byproduct of maybe you worked hard for the week and then you take the kids fishing on the weekend and you enjoy it more. And so honestly, that's something that I do feel like this year, the last 2 years, I do feel like I still hunt a lot. Ask my wife. She would probably not agree with me, but I do feel like I have intentionally put a lot more time into doing things in our companies that maybe I didn't need to do. I spent a ton of time cold calling. I didn't need to go cold calling, but I did it anyway. And we built some really good relationships.
I think they call that the midlife crisis.
Maybe that's what it is. I thought Mervin was in a midlife crisis. He's driving what's the car you bought?
The Camaro?
Yeah. He come cruising in a Camaro, and I'm like, you're a little young to be in a midlife crisis, but maybe, no, I'm just kidding.
Well, see, I don't really like these old guys riding around in sports cars because it's almost like they work their whole life to be able to afford a sports car. But by the time they get one, they're 60. And then it's what's the point? Probably when I'm 60, I'll be driving a sports car. But I don't know. It's
probably
you should do some of that stuff when you're young.
I read a book a while back called No Pains. I think it's called No Pains, No Gains by Chip Gaines. Wrote the book. He said that sport cars and country club memberships represent the end of a journey. So I totally agree with you. Men aren't made to lose ourselves in our hobbies and things that we enjoy to do. I think it's important that we have hobbies. I know men that don't have hobbies. I don't know if you're one of them, Owen. I don't think you are because you love to travel. You and your family love to travel. That's a hobby.
I think we're going to Florida next week.
Yeah, that's great. Men need an outlet. And, we're doing an event here coming up on December the 10th. And one of the things we're going to talk about that event is you have a primary personality type that you live in. And for me, that personality type, my primary personality type loves challenge. I love, if somebody says you probably can't do that, I'm like, hey, watch me do this. When it comes to hunting, I'm very much, I live in that primary personality because it's hard. You go elk hunting with a bow, it's very difficult. And I know guys that have elk hunted, public land for 20 years and haven't shot a bull with their bows. And so it's very rewarding to go out in that country and I love that challenge. Come out with a heavy, you got one. I love that challenge. In business, it's the same way. We love to take on challenges. And that's, a lot of entrepreneurs they primarily love challenge. They like to live in that personality. But your secondary personality type, your secondary is what charges your batteries for your primary. And your secondary is always when you need a stress relief or when you need recharge. So it is important to talk about, like, I think it is important for all guys. Like, you need to have something. I'm not saying it's got to be hunting, but you need something that you're like, when I do this thing, it's charging my battery. Same with our wives. Like, we should know, as men, we should know, what is that thing that my wife gets to do? Maybe I need to watch the kids and let her do that thing to help charge her batteries, because it's really difficult to live in your purpose and your God-given design. Like, what you're put on this earth to do, you can't live there well with a dead battery.
And don't stay on the charger too long, maybe.
100%.
Yeah, I would agree with that. If you spend too much time in the hobby zone, you'll tend to get lazy when you get back. I've seen that in my own life.
Well, that's kind of how, before we started recording here, you were talking about someone that had a store, you know? They spend more and more time maybe doing the fun things or enjoying the rewards of the hard work and not actually being involved in the hard work and end up losing everything. So if they would maybe cut out some of that or have boundaries. But yeah, I think that's a wrap for today. What are some things that you can cut out in business, in life, that will help you get to your targets for 2026?
And let us know, like, is there a way that the audience can communicate? Yeah, drop comments. Like, what are something in your own life that you're like, man, I should do, maybe I should stop doing this thing. Like, let us know, because we love feedback from the audience. I want to take a moment and invite you. It's in Niles, Ohio. It's going to be December the 10th. It really is about leadership. It's about growing as a person. It's about becoming a better business person, a better leader, and it spills into family. Actually, family is a more important part than business, because you can get it right in the business, but if you don't get it right in the family, it ain't going to work in the business anyway. I want to invite you to that event. It's going to be a day full of learning, and it's going to be a day full of fun. We used to do this event and always kept it to just the people in our team. And now we're going to start doing them again, but we're going to open it up to anybody that wants to attend. So if you have a business, it'd be a great event for you to attend, because you're going to learn how to work with people better. But honestly, if you're married, you should be at this event, because it'll help you understand your spouse better. And it's going to be a great day. We'd love to see you guys December the 10th.
Get all the details and get your tickets at smarterroofer.com/bold. That's smarterroofer.com/BOLD.